The silence hit me first. Not the soothing kind that wraps around you like a warm blanket, but the sharp, echoing void that screams of something broken. I stood there in the grand lobby of the Sapphire Shores Resort, a sprawling haven of polished granite floors and towering palm fronds under crystal chandeliers that sparkled like distant stars. Just moments ago, this place had buzzed with the chaos of arrival, wheels rumbling over tile, kids squealing in excitement, the low hum of concierge chatter. Now, it was just me. My compact roller bag standing sentinel beside me like a loyal but useless companion. My husband, Alex, had flashed that easy, boyish grin of his as he leaned in for a perfunctory kiss. "Hang tight with the luggage, babe," he'd said, his voice light, almost playful. "Sarah and I will swing the car into the garage. It's a maze down there." Back in a flash, his mother, Evelyn, had given my shoulder a pat that felt more like a dismissal than affection, her perfectly manicured nails grazing my sleeve. "Stay put, darling," she'd purred, her tone laced with that familiar undercurrent of superiority. The rest of the family, Sarah, her husband Ryan, and even Alex's aloof brother Mark, had exchanged those knowing glances, the kind that hinted at an inside joke I wasn't privy to. It was supposed to be harmless fun, their signature welcome ritual for vacations. But as 5 minutes turned to 15, then dragged into a torturous 45, the excuses I fed myself started to sour. The garage is massive, I thought, staring at the ornate clock ticking indifferently on the wall. Maybe they hit traffic in the lot, or stopped for a quick coffee. My text to Alex went unread, blue bubbles floating in limbo. Calls to Sarah rang straight to her bubbly voicemail, the one that always made her sound like she was too busy living her best life to pick up. The knot in my gut tightened, a familiar ache from years of feeling like the outsider in my own marriage. Hotel guests streamed by, couples arm in arm, families laden with beach gear, vanishing into elevators with dings that mocked my isolation. The staff's glances shifted from polite to pitying, and I felt myself shrinking, becoming that sad statue in the corner, woman waiting eternally. Just as the weight of it all threatened to crush me, a concierge in a crisp navy uniform approached, her steps measured, her expression a blend of kindness and caution. Her name tag read Lena. "Everything all right, ma'am?" she asked softly, as if afraid to shatter me further. "You've been here a while. Can I assist with anything? Maybe call someone?" I mustered a weak smile, the kind that fools no one. "I'm good, thanks. Just waiting on my family. My husband, Alex Harper, they're parking." Lena's composure cracked for a split second, a flash of sympathy mixed with quiet outrage. It was that look that gut-punched me before her words could. "The Harper party? They checked into the executive suites about half an hour ago." Relief surged through me like a tidal wave, only to crash into confusion. "Yes. Have they come back down?" She hesitated, her eyes dropping briefly. "Ma'am, they headed straight up after checking in. Your husband mentioned to the desk. It was some kind of game. He said not to worry if you seemed upset." The world tilted. A game. They descended to the oceanfront paradise I'd funded with every last bonus from my software startup, the sprawling suites with private balconies, infinity pools, and skyline views over Miami's glittering coast. And me, left as the butt of their laughter, a discarded prop in their twisted family theater. The betrayal sliced deep. Not just the act itself, but the culmination of a decade's worth of slights, the backhanded compliments, the exclusion from real family stories. The way my successes were always diminished as lucky breaks. Tears pricked my eyes, hot and unwelcome. But beneath the hurt, something colder stirred, a resolve hardening like ice in my veins. They saw me as the endless giver. The wallet with a wedding ring. Fine. I'd show them the cost of playing with fire. Flashback 3 weeks. And I was in our sunlit kitchen in suburban Atlanta. Steam rising from my coffee mug as I scrolled through resort photos on my laptop. The images glowed, endless beaches, turquoise waves lapping at white sand. The kind of escape that screamed renewal. My app development firm had just sealed a game-changing deal with a Fortune 500 client, months of coding marathons paying off in a windfall that left me breathless. My first instinct? Share it. Not splurge on myself, but pull Alex's family closer. Prove I was more than the ambitious outsider they'd labeled me. A dream getaway. I'd beamed at Alex over takeout that night, spinning the screen toward him. All expenses paid, sweets for everyone at Sapphire Shores. My treat. His eyes lit up. Genuine for once. As he pulled me into a hug that felt like the old days. Emily, you're amazing. They'll love it. But when he broke the news at Evelyn's weekly brunch, a sterile affair in her gated community McMansion, the room went still. Not with joy, but a calculating hush. Evelyn peered at the site on her tablet, lips pursed like she'd bitten a lemon. Charming. I suppose, she drawled, her southern lilt dripping disdain. Though for that price tag, I'd expect something more refined, perhaps the Hamptons crowd. I swallowed hard, explaining the 5-star perks, the VIP upgrades I'd splurged on, including the presidential suite for her. It fell flat. Sarah chimed in with a sigh, eyeing my new smartwatch, a self-gift after the deal. Must be nice to just swipe the card without a second thought. Ryan grunted agreement from behind his newspaper, ever the silent enabler. The planning became a minefield. Sarah griped about the flight times being inhumane. Evelyn nitpicked the dining options lacking her favorite French fusion. Every email, every call, reinforced it. I was the ATM, not the daughter-in-law. And Alex? He'd brush off my frustrations with a kiss and a shrug. Mom's set in her ways. Old school Southern pride. Don't read into it. Or, Sarah's stressed from her job hunt, cut her slack. His go-to line, delivered with that helpless charm, that's just how they are. It stung deepest because it meant he was choosing them. Always. Over us. Over me. Even en route to the airport. The car ride simmered with tension, Evelyn complaining about the AC. Sarah sniping about startup money, making everything easy. I gripped the door handle, clinging to the delusion that sun and sea would melt the ice. That my generosity would finally earn me a seat at their table. What a fool I'd been. Every dollar spent wasn't building bridges, it was fortifying their walls, leaving me stranded outside. I slipped away from the desk, legs heavy as lead, and collapsed into a secluded armchair behind a cluster of ferns. My handbag felt like an anchor in my lap, fingers digging into the leather as if it could ground me. The initial panic ebbed, replaced by a chilling clarity, a mental slideshow of the past decade unspooling like a bad dream. Our first Christmas, I'd slaved over homemade pies using my grandma's recipes, only for Evelyn to poke at hers and murmur, "Quaint. Dear. We're more of a gourmet family." The leftovers went straight to the trash. Then Sarah's baby shower. I'd covered the venue, a chic rooftop spot, thinking it'd bond us. Her thank you? A curt text, "Venue is okay. Thanks." The pranks were the worst, forgetting to invite me to a family reunion until the last minute, leaving me scrambling, hiding my presentation notes before a big pitch, giggling at my frenzy. And Alex, always the mediator, pulling me close. "Babe, it's harmless fun. Loosen up." But it wasn't fun. It was erosion, chipping away at my self-worth until I was a shadow, buying affection that was never real. Tonight's lobby stunt? The final crack. I wasn't family, I was funding. a tool to be shelved. But as I sat there, staring at the concierge desk, Lena's quiet empathy ignited a spark. The rooms upstairs, their keys worked because of me. My card. My power. A plan crystallized. Cold and irreversible. I rose, spine straight for the first time in years, and strode back to the desk. This wasn't escape, it was reckoning. The marble under my heels echoed like a countdown as I approached Lena again. The lobby's grandeur now a stage for my transformation. I wasn't the pleading wife anymore. I was the architect of my own exit. A question about my reservations, I said. Voice steady despite the storm inside. The Harper Suites, 1201. 1203. 1205. 1207. And the presidential 1500. Lena tapped her keys, confirming. Under Emily Harper. Paid via your visa ending in 7392. The words were my armor. I exhaled slowly. Cancel them all. Effective now. Her eyes widened briefly. But she nodded. Understanding flickering between us. No explanations needed, she'd witnessed the prelude. Keys flew across the board in seconds. Their kingdom crumbled. And book me a single room. Basic. One night. A ghost of a smile from her, garden view on the fourth quiet. As she handed over my new key. She whispered. Your bags are at the bell desk. I'll send them up. Their final slap, abandoning my things like I was baggage. But now, it was freedom. Room 412 was a revelation in its modesty, a queen bed with plain linens, a desk lamp casting warm light, a window framing moonlit palms. No extravagance, just space to breathe. I sank onto the bed. The silence a balm after years of noise. Upstairs, Evelyn would be unpacking her silks. Sarah scrolling spa menus. Alex lounging without a care. Here, I was sovereign. I ordered room service, a simple burger and fries. Comfort food unburdened by judgment. As I ate, cross-legged on the duvet, flipping channels to a rom-com rerun, my phone erupted. Alex first, then Sarah. Evelyn. Ignored. Texts piled, M. Call back, worried sick. This prank's gone too far. Lies. They weren't worried, they were entitled. I savored my last fry. Then typed in my room. Check your keys. Send. The chaos I imagined upstairs fueled me, their swipes failing. Red lights blinking denial. Confusion turning to rage. Not at themselves, but at me for daring to flip the script. I didn't hide. I descended to the lobby, claiming a prime armchair with views of the elevators and dusk. A glass of wine in hand. I waited. The ding announced their storming arrival, Alex red-faced. Sarah fuming. Evelyn icy. They assaulted the desk. System error. Fix it. Lena's calm reply, cancelled by the primary, Mrs. Emily Harper. Heads whipped, eyes locked on me. I sat serene. Unbreakable. They swarmed. What have you done? Alex barked. Ungrateful after all we've tolerated, Evelyn hissed. Ruined everything over a joke, Sarah spat. I stood. Voice level, the joke's on me for thinking money bought love. For a husband who never defended me. Alex paled, M. We're family. No, I countered. Family doesn't abandon and laugh. Security intervened as Alex grabbed my arm, Lena's doing. I walked out, bag in tow, into a waiting cab bound for the airport. The ocean breeze whispered liberation. Their bill? Not just financial, the price of betrayal. Paid in full. My new life beckoned. Unburdened and fierce.